Joining us to talk more about it this morning is our legal analyst, Whitney Boan. Whitney, good morning.
Good morning, Andrea.
So there are people supporting Ayala and people against her decision in the same token. So what are her chances here of getting the case back on Tuesday when the judge hears her side of it?
Well, what's going to happen on Tuesday is that Judge Lawton's even going to decide whether or not her motion to get back onto the case is well-founded before him in the trial court. What I mean by that is Brad King has already filed a memorandum of law and a motion to the court arguing that the proper way for Ayala to handle this is to go directly to the Florida Supreme Court, that they are who would decide whether or not the governor had the correct authority in this situation to remove her off of the case. And so it'll be interesting to see what Judge Lawton says about that. He could potentially decide the substantive issue, but it may even boil down to whether or not they're arguing about whether Judge Lawton can even decide that issue or it needs to go to the Florida Supreme Court right now instead.
This is such a fascinating convergence of politics and law. What's your perspective as you sit on the sidelines watching this all unfold?
What's very interesting to me as a criminal defense attorney is that this seems to really boil down a lot to how does the governor feel about the death penalty, how do other people feel about the death penalty, including Ayala. And when I say feel about the death penalty, I mean obviously there's more at play here. There are real victims. This is a very atrocious case. Whether you believe in the death penalty or not, if the death penalty were going to apply, this seems like the case where it would apply. However, this is really coming down to, Ayala is taking a stance and saying, we're wasting public taxpayer money. We're delaying the prosecution. The death penalty has kind of been in the balance anyways with all the litigation over it here in Florida over the past couple of years, and even with the U.S. Supreme Court. So I think that what's very interesting about this is, we've got a man at the intersection of this who's accused of extremely serious crimes, where there appears to be a lot of evidence to support those crimes, but then we've got this side dialogue now going on in terms of who has the authority to do what here, and whether or not a prosecutor can be taken off of a case because she used her discretion not to use the death penalty to prosecute someone charged with such a serious crime.
All right, Whitney Boan, where can people find more information from you?
You can find me on Facebook for Whitney Boan, B-O-A-N-P-A, or you can go to my website, boanlaw, B-O-A-N-L-A-W.com.
Whitney, thank you. Great perspective. Appreciate it.